Hey everybody, you're looking at the LG G7, the newest flagship phone from the South Korea tech giant. And yes, that is Mr. Mobile in the back, along with Joshua Vergara from Android Authority. We're all in Seoul, South Korea right now to check out LG's new headquarters, the Science Park. This is the largest R&D lab in Korea, and LG is going to use this to develop everything from IoT to robots to cars. But we're not here to talk about all that, we're here to talk about the LG G7. So yes, the phone does have a notch. I actually don't mind it because I think it allows you to push the status bar up, thus giving you more screen. The notch houses an earpiece, an 8-megapixel selfie camera, and a proximity sensor. But if you really can't stand the notch, LG gives you an option to hide it. All you have to do is go to settings, and you can turn the part of the screen next to the notch black, and it will just look like you have a normal bezel up top. You can also change the color of that part of the screen. It looks a little bit funky, but if you pick the right wallpaper like I have here, I actually think it looks pretty good. So looking at the back of the phone, you'll see that LG's made some major design changes. First of all, this fingerprint reader here, it's no longer a power button, it's just a fingerprint sensor. The power button, it's now on the right side of the phone. You'll find volume rockers on the left of the phone, and then below it, it's a new hardware button that launches Google Assistant with a single press. You can even hold on to the button and speak into it like a walkie-talkie. The dual camera setup of the G7 is very similar to previous LG devices. Both sensors here are 16 megapixels. One lens is a normal camera and the other is a wide-angle lens that I find very useful. I love that it allows me to take in so much more into the frame without needing to back up. So right here I'm at this bar. I can just hit this button right here and I can get a wider image without needing to bother the person behind me. The G7 has a 6.1-inch IPS LCD display at Quad HD resolution. The aspect ratio is at an unusually high 19.5 by 9, so that means the phone is even taller or slimmer across than the LG G6 or the LG V30. That makes the phone easier to hold though because it's not as wide. So the IPS panel is excellent in brightness. Right now I'm in max brightness under the sun and it's about 600 nits, so you can kind of see it. But if you want to go brighter, you can hit super bright mode right here and the screen goes up to 1000 nits of brightness. That's the brightest of all the smartphones right now, and you can see it makes a big difference. You can only use super brightness for 3 minutes at a time because the phone will overheat, but it's very useful if you're under the sun. The G7 has a Qualcomm Snapdragon 845 chipset with 4 or 6 gigs of RAM depending on your configuration. Needless to say, the phone is super fast, super smooth with no hiccup during my 2 days of testing. So the official name of this phone is actually LG G7 ThinQ. Yes, I know it's really damn weird, but LG insists on calling it ThinQ because that's the name of the company's AI line. So this phone has that same AI camera as the LG V30 ThinQ, meaning it can recognize scenes. So right here I'm going to turn on AI cam and it will pump up contrast to make the meat look even more red. To show you that it really is thinking or ThinQ, the camera app will pop up all these little words when it's assessing a scene. So right here all the words are saying like leaf and green, so that means the camera does know what it's looking at. So one of the features I really liked from the LG V30 ThinQ was that the phone will automatically brighten up an image by using a process called pixel binning. What it does is it lowers the megapixel count in order to pull in more light. So the LG G7, obviously you can see here, is doing that and the result looks pretty good. This is a very dark scene, but it's able to brighten up, pull in more light into the image significantly. For the first time on an LG device, the G7 can shoot portrait mode, aka bokeh mode, and the result turns out pretty good considering that LG is using only software and not hardware to produce this. In general, the LG G7 takes very impressive photos. This is a wide-angle shot that I love, and then check out this shot. This is pre-AI, and now AI is going to kick in and make the dish look a little bit more delicious by pumping up the colors. This is a bokeh shot. Check out the natural depth of field effect around the statue. And then the zoom right here, manual zoom. Look at the details. Just overall, I'm very impressed with this camera, but that's nothing new. LG's always had good cameras. The only area that suffers a bit is low light, like right here. So what else is new with the phone? Well, LG's brought over the audiophile capabilities of the V series to the G7. In addition to having a quad DAC and a headphone jack. LG also improved the phone's loudspeakers significantly. LG says the sound can get up to 40 decibels, which is louder than almost all the other smartphones on the market. LG actually showed this to all of us by placing 5 phones side by side: the iPhone X, the Huawei P20 Pro, Samsung Galaxy S9 Plus, the LG G6, and the LG G7, and the G7 did indeed sound the loudest. Here, check it out for yourself. So if I have to nitpick the LG G7, I would say that the design is not that original, and the battery size at 3000 mAh, it's a little bit on the small side. But other than that, there's a lot to like with the LG G7. It's a huge improvement over the LG G6. It's a very refined LG design. I love that the screen can get up to 1000 nits of brightness. I love that there's a headphone jack with hi-fi audio, and I love how the phone looks and feels in the hand. I'll have more later. I'm going to get a review unit soon. Alright, time for me to eat some Korean barbecue. Thanks for watching.